Palmer. Salah. Oh, wow. Huge shot. It's given straight away. Yet again fails.
Hello and welcome to the Dugout Podcast. I am your co-host Andrew. I'm joined in the online studio. Let's call it that. I'm joined in the online studio by my fellow co-host Marissa. Hi Marissa, how are you?
I don't know how to answer that question, so there we go with I'm good for now.
You're good for now. I'm actually quite surprised.
Oh, you mean because I've had such a trash week?
That and the fact that you have, entered or started the show, attended the show with your Chelsea colors on.
Oh, okay. So let me explain.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
have on my Chelsea Crystal Palace kit because we may as well be Crystal Palace.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, yeah.
I see.
That's how I feel right now. But we'll get into all that shortly.
Great. So you said we're gonna start the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
Right. And we're starting with our respective teams in particular, correct?
Unfortunately.
Right, because our first segment is that Liverpool and Chelsea stutter in the race for the top four. So you want to go first, or you actually which team do you want to address first? Let's address Chelsea. Since you're Crystal Palace, and I think you should save the bigger club for last. We'll start with you. So
Oh my gosh. I never
yes,
said I would be Crystal Palace, but okay, whatever.
you made an analogy, quite
Yes.
appropriate analogy, and I'm going to run with it. So Chelsea
Mm,
at the weekend lost 1-0 to Newcastle, which obviously was a significant blow, I guess, to their Champions League qualification hopes. And also, you definitely need to qualify the Champions League through the league position because yesterday you were eliminated by PSG. So,
we were eliminated yesterday. We were eliminated last week, but we get to that too.
sorry. You know what I mean? The tie was officially, in terms of the both legs being played, was
Yeah.
yesterday. So, I think you went on 8-2 on aggregate, correct?
Yes.
Listen, I take no joy, as much as I might be smiling, I take no joy in the fact that you went down to, it's by such a significant scoreline. But anyways, yes, Marissa, so give us your assessment of Chelsea and what needs to change, what's been happening, why have you guys, of late, because I think when Rosinha first came in, there was a, relatively positive start. So why of late, has it been going off the rails?
Um. Okay. Yes, you could say it was a positive start, but I was always kind of cautious. He was new. We didn't really play any significant games when we had that good run. Only I felt Napoli in that run. And probably Villa. But that was more recent. Um, Let me start with what's going wrong. He's making some strange decisions, and I think it's costing the team.
Mm.
No, if you, I don't really want to roll. I mean, our Champions League segment is more of a roundup of everything, so I am going to wrap in everything in one. You're going away to PSG. Yes, it may not be the same PSG as last season, but it's still a very good PSG side. Yeah.
Mhm.
You go and you play our second choice, who most fans believe is the second choice goalkeeper. Yes, Robert Sanchez had an absolute shocker at Arsenal, I think it was. Then he brought in Jorgensen for the Villa game. I don't mind that. If you play badly, I don't mind there being consequences. In fact, there are other players on the team that play badly, and I don't think they face enough consequences. But that's a whole other conversation. No, you play Jorgensen against Villa, it comes off because he believes Jorgensen is a better passer. I'm sorry. In this Chelsea side, I need a better shot stopper. Robert
Mhm.
Sanchez, for all my criticism of him, has been one of our better players this season because he is saving our skin in many games. He's actually had a decent season by his standards. I think up to a few weeks ago, he and David Raya were literally net and net for clean sheets, which is unbelievable considering where we are in the league. You go away at PSG and you want to play out against the back. You want to play out from the back. When we beat them in the Club World Cup, what we did, we exploited the long ball, gusto in behind, down the flanks, everything. But you want to play out the back against PSG? With Jorgensen? All right. He made a decision fine. We're in the game at 2-2. In the game at 2-2. And obviously, you're seeing the warning signs that the playing up from the back ain't working. But we're still in the game. Did well, competed well. To me, you shut up shop. You take that back to the bridge. No, no, no. No, 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 no. We decide we want enter Clown City and do. How do you concede? How do you go from 2-2 to 5-2 in the space of 15 minutes? And I'm just like, the decision making of the players and the manager is absolutely disgusting. All right, that was a real deflating blow. Come against Newcastle now. The team is fine, in my personal opinion. Um, because what this club does, I don't know if you experience the same here with your club, but what this club does so well is that when we have a bad result, we like to slip in some good news. So
Mhm.
after yesterday's result, they announced that Reese and his sister renewed their contracts at Chelsea men, Chelsea women. Great news! Everybody good, everybody happy. Day before Newcastle game. So I think the game start, Reece James got a nice banner in the stadium, and the team play absolutely filth, Andrew. That goal that Newcastle scored was just like schoolboy defending. And then who was in goal for Newcastle? Was it Pope or was it Ramsdale?
I think it was Ramsdale.
Yeah. He had a save to make in 90 minutes. We were
Well,
so
I didn't watch the game, so I'm not sure. But
that's a
I'm guessing
struggle.
he said you ask a question,
Yeah,
so
save to
he
make
probably
in 90
didn't.
minutes.
Okay.
Appealing for penalties when the ball hitting people's shoulder or hitting people's hand at point. Like, it was an embarrassing performance. And to me, this is just symptomatic of our entire season. Even when Maresca was there, Andrew, our home form is atrocious. I think we're second in the league for away, but at home, oh my! I do not know what is happening. That performance was absolutely disgusting. Yeah, and for that one, I'm gonna be less harsh on the manager and more harsh ultimately with all of this on the people above him. He ain't hire himself.
Mhm.
He ain't doing the recruiting. Because have you seen our bench lately? Because we have injuries, our bench is disgusting. We have injuries to Gittins. Esteva was on the bench for PSG yesterday, but we've had injuries to him. Gittins, Neto was suspended because of the recruitment of these directors. The squad is piss poor. It's like you look, and that's something that I heard somebody say against Newcastle. If the team that starts does not win the game, there's nothing on the bench that can come on and change it, and that's the problem. So you couple poor recruitment, injuries, manager making stupid decisions, players doing the most. Nobody's taking accountability at the back. Like I heard when I was watching Newcastle Barcelona today, a commentator said how well Newcastle defended as a team against Chelsea. We don't defend well as a team at all. Everybody talking about, yeah, the centre backs, inexperience, blah, 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 lack of leaders, all of that is valid. But collectively as a team, the defending is absolutely shocking. And to me, that is everything that's going on. I actually didn't watch the PSG game yesterday, though. That's a
Mhm.
lie. Started the game, saw make a mistake, Kvaratskhelia score, computer dead, I ain't even bothered to wait for your charger because I know it was going to be long after that. I could not be bothered. And that's not me. I would have sit on there. I would have watched. I would have just see what the guys give. Like, at least I don't want to say the boys gave everything. That's Graham Potter and that's 2 years ago, but whatever. But 3-0 at home, even Tottenham today, relegation threatened Tottenham at least put up a fight at home against Atletico. 8-2 on aggregate, our biggest ever aggregate loss in Champions League. It is not good enough. It's on the players, it's on Rosenior, and to me, he's becoming a laughing stock. I don't like it, but he's becoming a laughing stock. And it's definitely only people above him. It's definitely only people above him. The arrogance of the board, the arrogance of these directors in feeling that they're building this fantastic team. No, you're not. No, you are not. Do you know that Pedro Neto and Kvaratskhelia cost the same? Are you kidding me? Yes, wages might be different, but come on. You spent 40 million on Garnacho, 55 million on a proven Gittins, £2 billion spent, and we still talking about holes and gaps to plug. Come on, man. It is too much. So yes, I feel like we're Crystal Palace. We have good players that are probably looking to leave. No, let me not say that. We have good players that if things don't change, we're going to sell them for profit. We
Right.
have good young players coming through. I'm not going to say the squad is awful, but ultimately, our focus doesn't seem to be winning trophies anymore. Our focus just seems to be competing like a Crystal Palace. No disrespect to those sides, but like a Crystal Palace, like a Brentford. That is who we're becoming. And it's just frankly, to me, unacceptable. And I am fed right up. I feel sometimes, like when you watch people, I don't want to single out nobody, but the goddamn content creators online that when they're doing watch alongs and the team concede a goal, there's be ranting and raving and stuff. I
Mhm.
am no longer at that stage. When we concede goals, I feel upset, but I feel numb. It's like, yeah, I am for shot. I am for shot. It's just like that apathetic feeling. And then how I want to be watching my side.
Mhm.
So that's it.
You know, I would have came on here and have had the same approach as you had my team not gone through today. But we won, so I try to stay measured. And when I say measured, I want to give a honest, assessment of things, and not necessarily assessment that is tinted with rose-colored glasses, if that makes sense.
I
So,
understand.
but let me start with Chelsea first, and then I get to my own side. Um. So again, I feel as though, well, we kind of always knew that as soon as things hit a speed bump, so to speak, Liam Rosenior would have been, under pressure, or at least kind of ridiculed in a sense. Because I think at the end of the day, as much as he did quite well with Strasbourg, for example, when you look, normally jobs at Chelsea require a more significant, um, CB in terms of what you've done managerially before. And he doesn't really have that, right? And he says a lot of good things in the press and stuff like that. I think people are kind of like, I have been impressed by how he's handled the media for the most part. But at the same time, that can only go so far. I think, if you ask Chelsea fans when he was appointed, most of them would have felt as though he's not big enough. He's not a big enough name, not good enough for their club. I do still believe that a section of the fan base really took to Maresca and weren't happy with the change either. Like you said, I think a lot of Chelsea's problems are the recruitment or self-recruitment in terms of every summer there seems to be a lot of player turnover. There are a lot of young players being acquired who, young players, and get them to gel and cultivate into a winning team takes time, right? I think that a lot, when you think about Chelsea players, you guys have sent a lot of talent. Have you guys acquired anybody that, you could say, for example, was a finished article? No. I mean, you don't surround talent with, one or two bits and pieces that might be further along in the development or the finished article. You can't get this type of inconsistency with your performances. Yeah. So for me, I always said I started season. And I started since I was looking at you guys in terms of what your title, chances would have been. I always said that defensively, I felt as though they had some holes. And I felt as though in terms of your team, your squad, honestly, until that development happens, it can just be like a rotation of players that are kind of more or less the same level. You might get the one or two standouts with Cole Palmer, for instance, and so. But for the most part, a lot of the winners that you have, the get any cigar nachos, whoever else, they're kind of in the same bracket in terms of fighting to make that leap to consistent starter, world class player there. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's the issue that Chelsea has. I think Liam Rosinger, because it's funny what you said about his selection for the first leg against PSG. It was almost like you haven't spoken to Christopher before I gave more sense, right? Because it was almost like what you said was a mirror image of what he said. That man complained in my ear on the phone for like 15, 20 minutes straight about in his mind, what the Brenner's decision was to bring in Jorgensen for that time. And I told him, I understand what you're saying. I agree with you. Well, yeah, I can agree with you. I don't think Sanchez is the best goalkeeper in the world, but I do see Sanchez as a clear number one. And I felt like, along with you and Chris, to make a change for such a significant game was kind of it was a big call. And it didn't pay off based on Jorgensen's performance. But was I surprised that he changed? No. And the reason I wasn't surprised is, like you said, I recall, I can't remember which game it was that. I think Arsenal, Sanchez looked a bit shaky. I think next game against Villa was not. I'm more sure the second choice keeper was in Burst. So I mean, like, Premier League still significant. You're fighting for points. You're trying to gain Champions League. So if you're going to make that change, it has to mean then that, as of right now, you think Jorgensen should play ahead of Sanchez. Which, like you said, it's
he
a
ain't
big
got no
call.
number one keeper. That what you mind saying though? He ain't got no number. Like what? Okay, all right. Continue.
I mean, if Sanchez plays most of the high-profile games like League and Champions League, for example, then it's clear that he is the number one keeper. It's just a case where just be man about it and say, well, you don't think Sanchez's performances are for right now at the moment has been good enough. You're going to make a change. That's all it was. But yeah, so I think honestly, I predict between there are about 8 games left in league. I think for Chelsea it's going to be up and down. I think the glimmer of hope that you guys can hold on to though. I think it's going to be up and down. When I say up and down, I do believe that you will win a couple games. It's not like you're going to lose all 8 that you have left to play. I think you'll win a few, but I do think that there'll be some disappointments along the way. Some games that, in your opinion, you throw away. You know what I mean? Some games, for instance, that you were rating it, and then you imagine make a substitution or selection or whatever case it be, and you guys never get going. It's going to be that kind of. I believe that kind of running for you. I think where the hope can come for Chelsea is whether or not you guys. No, not really whether or not. The hope is basically as Villa's form. I think Villa's form is what's giving everybody hope right now. Because Villa are backsliding. So it gives everybody else that. Pardon?
That's if we get 5 spots.
I think we will. No?
4 teams get dumped tonight, so I don't know.
I mean, this wrong, yeah. But
This wrong, yeah.
I think based on the coefficient, we were well enough ahead that we should get the 5th spot. So I believe so.
Never sure we deserve it, but whatever.
That's the thing. By the end of the day, as a fan, if you get it, would you really care about whether or not your performances deserved it? Probably not.
But then the flip side is like everybody made a big deal. Yeah, Champions League qualification. It puts us in a great position to sign elite players. Look at what we do with the money last summer. Honestly, the only player that has come in last summer and did a great job is Esteval, and he was not even signed last summer. He was literally signed like 18 months ago. Every signing from the summer has been absolute trash again. So
wait. So you would characterize Joe Pedro as being trash? I wouldn't. I think he would.
Sorry, I forget about Joe. It's hard to see the silver linings, but Joe has been fantastic. He's been one of the signings of the summer across the league. But other than him,
Mhm.
It was a very poor transfer window. So yeah, qualifying for the Champions League, we playing in Europe's best competition would be fantastic. But then the money that comes with it, do I trust the people above Rosina to actually make proper decisions? I really don't. So it'll be good, but I don't even know if I feel like anything is really gonna change.
Okay. So as it stands, though, are you giving yourself a not, or do you think Chelsea will make the Champions League qualification? But I mean, it has to be. It can only be the league phase now. So do you feel as though you guys can get in that top four, top five?
If you ask me right now, no, I don't. Because I think our last 8 games are is a horrible group of fixtures.
Mm,
So you ask me right now, no. Our only saving grace is that you going through to the next round to your
mm,
Champions League. So more games for you, more games where you may have to rotate at the weekend, and you
mm,
guys are also struggling in the league. That's the only hope.
right.
And obviously Villa is still in Europa League. That's the only hope, that the teams around us that are also struggling in league have more games, more fatigue, tired, everything. That's the only hope. But if I had to depend on us and our form, no chance.
Fair enough. Well, that brings us to, because Chelsea are not the only team in this conversation who is stuttering in the league, um, and that brings us to Liverpool. Now, like I said before, if we had recorded on the original day as planned, right, this would have probably been a similar rant from me in terms of what I think, about my team right now, about my manager, for instance. But because we won so handsomely, it got me feeling a bit different. You know what I mean? Um, Again, because I still on a high. Honestly, right? Liverpool getting a win this season has been like almost rare for a year. But trust me, when it happens, it makes you feel all warm, and you feel really good about yourself. But again, I
Same.
try to come back to earth, and I try to give a honest assessment of my side and your lead form. And my lead form has been piss poor. Dropping points to Tottenham. I think game before that was a defeat against Wolves in the league, where it was definitely. I think I went a bit too far after the Wolves game, because remember I had predicted that Liverpool lose like that
You
happened.
did
Yeah, I was really like
crazy.
not feeling them at all.
Yeah.
Um, so know that we want to don't want to go I don't want to go too far in the other direction.
Right, exactly.
But the Spurs game, it just epitomized Liverpool and Liverpool season. And I think this game tonight against Galatasaray also. Well, okay, let me forget the Galatasaray. Let's take on Spurs. The Spurs game epitomized Liverpool season in the sense that I felt as though Liverpool created enough chances, enough openings, had enough good moments in transition to have made more of certain situations, to have more of a comfortable lead. And down to, poor decision making, and a combination rather of poor decision making and lack of quality at certain times. They fail to extend their lead. And the longer the game goes on, the more they'll have chances Spurs get. And you saw it towards the end of the first half, where Richarlison had those two quick headers in succession. You saw that, as Spurs get the ball into the box, for instance, they could still cause us a problem, right? And the longer the game goes on, the more encouragement the opposition gets. Inevitably, we concede a goal. And the goal that we concede, almost like similar to Chelsea, the goals that we have been conceding in the league have been really, really bad in terms of defending. A long punt out, you feel that Robertson doesn't deal with Van Dijk. It's too deep to start with. Can't get out. And I can't who the player was. Koulibaly, really strong, really aggressive, was able to hold him off. Gomez gets sucked in, ends up in no man's land. Shopper says there's a cover at the back post, and Richardson got empty net to tap in. And call me funny, right? When Richardson scored, I was hoping he'd take off his shirt, because normally when he takes off his shirt, something else will happen in the game. So the one time
True.
he left his shirt on, and it was there with these points going.
He learning. He
You know,
learning.
he learning. So again, it's just a frustration, and I don't know. Honestly, right? In terms of Liverpool, I think about this from a rational point of view. I have similar feelings to you in terms of my chances for the Champions League. Meaning, I think that depends on, as much as it depends on us, it also depends on the form of the other teams. Man United look like they're surely going to make it. Like you said, Villa has sticky patch in them. You guys are struggling, right? So it looks like even with the inconsistency, you might still be able to get through by the skin of your teeth. I think Liverpool will have to get through by by the Premier League because, again, I don't think our defense is good enough in Champions League, or has been across the season rather, to win, to beat the better teams that you will come up against starting the next round. So Premier League is like the option. But again, the performance encapsulates the game. I think a lot of things about Liverpool are encouraging, and then there are other things, a lot of things as well, which are like almost deflating. There's the absence of energy in the Premier League games. We don't seem to be able to press. We don't seem to be well organized. I find that teams get out really, really easy against Liverpool now, for the most part. The gaps in midfield are too wide, so the midfield is not compact. There's not enough distances, or there's not great distance between the defense and midfield and the forward line, and then there's no connection. So there's no connection. And also in the attack, up until the Spurs game, I remember I started seeing, I said, okay, I was kind of like, okay, is a bit of large turnover of players, which I believe would have had an effect. And I felt like, it took a while for relationships to build between that forward line. But at the same time, in the Premier League, a lot of times, and we basically home stretch, and those connections, those relationships still have not materialized. So then it's like, who coaching winner? We all working on each training field, why is it taking so long? Good players should be able to play together. I know it's not a plug in and play situation, but good players normally figure it out because they're good players.
Yeah. Right.
So the fact that it taking Salah so long it taking Salah and works, and Isaac when he was available, and Gakpo, for instance, I know his form has been atrocious, but I think Gakpo better than his form has shown, even though he's not my favorite player on earth. The fact that it's taking those guys so long to figure out how to play together, to formulate patterns of play that more often not look dangerous, is a worry sign. And again, pressures on Arne Slott's head. Arne Slot needed to figure it out. I still maintain my belief in terms of when it comes to manager. I think Liverpool are going to wait until the end of the season, do a review. I think there are mitigating circumstances that we all know about that had an effect. I think that might save him and give him a little bit of a leeway into next season. I do believe, though, if your form is horrible I do believe, though, if your form is horrible next season, and within that first, 2 or 3 months, we take a race, or don't look like you can mount a challenge, then I do believe that's when the plug will be pulled. That's my feeling. I don't think Liverpool generally do not get rid of managers. At first goal, it has to be. I believe because of the mitigating circumstances, injuries, loss of a key player, all these things, I believe that he would get a bit of time. Fast forward tonight, though.
Before you get here tonight, I want to address that point.
Go ahead.
I think he gone. I think I told you. I can't remember if it was on air or off air. I think I told you though. I feel that the only thing that's going to save him is winning something and a good run in the Champions League. Y'all still in the FA Cup. Y'all play City next, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Y'all saying FA Cup and y'all saying Champions League, but a good run. I don't have y'all to win it, but a good run will save his job. I think after the boos on Sunday, the fact that the fans seem to be turning either on him or on the team or whatever, I actually think the pressure is going to be on the Liverpool board to pull the trigger. I don't think Slot survives if he doesn't win anything and if y'all don't qualify for the Champions League.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But we'll see.
So you made an interesting point, right? You said that the fans booed at the end of the game against Tottenham, right? There were some boos and they heard the boos, right?
And that's not Liverpool. I don't think I've ever heard y'all really boo that sorry. Honestly.
We have a few times. I can remember a few times where the crowd has booed. Give some examples. I believe they would have been booing under Roy Hodgson when he was the manager for that 6-month period. They would have been booing for Brendan Rodgers towards the end. Those are two standout examples of the fans booing the team's performance or the coach, for example. Because I think there've been a lot of games I want to say since mid to late November where Liverpool haven't looked a threat in the league. Right, all possession in the world, but really haven't looked a threat. The game tonight against Galatasaray, this earlier this evening rather, was, and I was like, where did this come from? Because the performance was energetic, the press, the intensity was there, and they were able not only to show a bit, because they've had intensity maybe in certain games in patches, but they were actually able to sustain this intensity. Now, I think the crowd had a lot to do with that because the crowd really created a really good atmosphere, right? And I think the players fed off of that too. But I think that Arne Slot needs to, because like I said, he's not the first manager that Liverpool has had that would have had a bad season and have been retained over the summer. Klopp had 2 bad seasons, or 2 disappointing seasons rather, and kept his job. By me, Jurgen Klopp. So, but anyway, Brendan Rodgers, although he ultimately was sacked, he did keep his job. Right after finishing, I think we finished 7th or 6th, something like that. And he did keep his job before Klopp came in. I think what Slot needs again is that Slot needs a strong finish this season. No, I don't necessarily agree with you, and I would say that he has to win something. Obviously, winning something means that your job should pretty much be, secured, because then you can point to say, well, I have a piece of silverware here, and that should give me one significant trophies in 2 seasons, give me a bit of wiggle room. But I don't think he necessarily has to win something, because like you said, you drew Man City in the FA Cup, and it's away from home at the Etihad. That's a difficult fixture. And you draw the holders of the Champions League, PSG, in that round. So, whilst winning something would be nice, and winning something for sure, we're kind of like ease a lot of bad feeling towards him and the team's performances over the course of the season. Again, I think they're bigger things that the Liverpool hierarchy would take into account when it comes to him. Again, he had to deal with a very, very tragic moment at the start of the season that disrupted preparations for the season. There was a huge turnover of players, and he had a lot of significant injuries. People, and I remember we mentioned it before. I think we mentioned it in private, not sure if we ever mentioned it on the show. But we did say, for instance, that Liverpool squad is, people have been saying that Liverpool squad is unbalanced. And both of us agree that we don't think it is unbalanced. I don't think it's an unbalanced squad. I think what the squad is, though, is a squad that lacks depth. But then, as Arne Slot said, that's his choice, or that's the club's choice. He prefers to work with a small group of players. Working with a small group of players means, for instance, whereas every Arsenal gets an injury to 3 or 4 people that got, a revolving door of players that come in, it means that you kind of late. So it meant that a lot of players had to build a position or keep on playing games because of the injuries that you sustain. I think all of those are mitigating circumstances. I just have a funny feeling, though, that he would keep his job. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't. I think he would keep his job, and like I said, I think he would keep his job with the caveat that you have to hit the ground running at starting next season. You got 10 games to show that you're back on track and you're building towards something by the end of the season. I know he hasn't got a new contract yet, but even if it was Liverpool, I wouldn't have given him a new contract after winning the league immediately. So I don't feel that, though, that is bizarre in itself.
Okay. Well, I'll ask you the same question you asked me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Liverpool will get top 4 or 5?
Yeah. I think they do, and I think they do because I think Villa backsliding.
Do you think Chelsea get top 5?
Yeah. I think you get 5th, actually. I think you get 5, but you get 4.
Must be nice to have your belief and confidence.
But I just let you know what I think. I might not be right. Many final point turn up. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the top end of the table. No matter how hard Arsenal try to let City back in the race, City keep saying, "Here you go. Here's the title." They drew away at West Ham, which is obviously difficult because West Ham are fighting relegation. They've also been playing a little bit better of late. But do you think that the title race is over after that result at West Ham?
Well, well, Arsenal 9 points clear with and having played a game more. Game in hand is against Arsenal at the Etihad next month.
The game in hand against Crystal Palace.
Don't be back.
That's who they were supposed to play this weekend, but the Carabao Cup.
Oh, you mean City?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ah, boy. Um,
Just say yes and be done.
I'm
Like,
not, I'm not going to just say yes and be done.
oh brother.
Um, no, is a is 9 points is a lot of points, but only 7 games left. That's true. Um, honestly, I think it done. I think it done just for the simple fact that Arsenal does not look like you gotta be real, you gotta be honest. Arsenal have been finding a way to get a job done, and they don't look like mm, they don't look like normal Arsenal. Where for example, I can still count on them to drop points against a team that they should beat and draw a game here and there or lose one. They look a bit more assured, they look more that maybe don't need that they have. They look a lot more confident. I think it's done. I think that pains me. Honestly, that pains me to my core to say that it's done, but I believe it's done. The only hope that I give City is that never know. Maybe if City beats them in the cup final on Sunday, I don't know if that gives City renewed belief. I don't know if it would put doubts, fresh doubt back in Arsenal's head. Who knows, right? Um, it might because for example, I think Arsenal are extremely confident. Me and the fan base that they beat City on Sunday, and every manner of defeat is one that is alarming or surprising. You never know what sort of impact or effect that could have on the psyche of the players. No, not long term. Because I don't think that losing on Sunday would mean that Arsenal will all of a sudden do a free fall and lose the next 3 games. But it might mean losing Sunday might mean, for instance, maybe a different performance the next game if it's a 3-day turnaround, for example, and then that might have a bit of doubt in their mind. But the problem is that not only does Arsenal not look like dropping points or dropping that many points, City doesn't look like they can put a run of what we have come to expect, which is the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 game run stretch together to really apply pressure.
City don't feel like they could put together a 90, to be honest. A lot of their games have been decent first half, poor second half. I really and truly I can't remember our prediction for the Champions League, and we'll get to that in a bit, but I could not believe the ease with which Madrid brushed them aside. I just feel like City, they definitely don't look like the same City. And I think that that's ultimately the problem because Arsenal have given them plenty of opportunities. Plenty. To me, we talk about Liverpool and Chelsea stuttering. To me, Arsenal kind of stumbling over the finish line too. They've had a good cushion for a while, but they keep letting City back into the race and City keep fumbling it. Like I said, going away at West Ham is difficult, but to be honest, is like City don't instill you with any confidence, and Arsenal don't look like dropping points. So well, losing a game. So therefore, that's a combination for me to say, yeah, I think unfortunately, sadly, disgustingly, I just kidding. Not really. The title is definitely over. I think Arsenal will definitely be crowned Premier League champions, and God help us all.
You're right. You are absolutely right. I mean, it's coming. Actually, right. I was thinking about it. Do you remember when Arteta first took the job? I believe I said that a key for them would be to keep the young players. I think at the time it was Saka and Smith Rowe.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that in 5, 6 years, they'll probably ready to challenge Armin if he keeps that nucleus together with the girl, blah, blah. And
He really did.
it has been about 5, 6 years. So they're there.
And he
They
really
are on
did keep,
track.
and he really did keep that core that you're mentioning together, with the exception of Smith Rowe, obviously. But
Yeah.
honestly, he has really built a very good team. To me, I still don't rate their attack, and even Saka is struggling, honestly. But he has built defenses win you leagues, and he has built a formidable defense. That is the truth. So credit to him. I mean, I don't want to start waxing lyrical because it's not done yet, but honestly, credit to him. Credit to him. When you look at Arsenal defense compared to all the other defenses in at least the top five. chalk and cheese. Chalk and cheese. Arsenal do not concede the sort of goals that me and you, for instance, have been conceding this season or of late. They just don't. And ultimately, that's why they're 20 odd points ahead of both of us. Well, at least me. I'm sure if they're 20 odd points ahead of you, but yeah.
Um, I I don't think Arsenal is a great team, but I think they're a very good team.
Yeah.
They're very, very well organized and well coached, at least from a defensive point of view. Um, I mean, to be honest, the proper Arsenal. I think people remember the Wenger period, for example, but that's not really identity or the. Well, I guess Wenger changed identity, but really, if you're talking about historically, the identity of Arsenal is a strong defense. That's what they were in the 90s under George Graham when they won about 2 or 3 titles. So, I'm not saying that Arteta decided to go back to that, but yeah, they're a difficult team to beat. They're a difficult team to score against. Right? If you watch Arsenal's games, as soon as I think Arsenal has the best recoveries for a team because as soon as they lose the ball, they get men back behind that ball like no other. So,
yeah, you hardly see Arsenal countered on. Hardly. It's crazy.
yeah, I think if they win the Premier League, they deserved it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think we're definitely at stage 5 of grief, right? Acceptance. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with them, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I'm definitely out of the denial stage. I've fully accepted it. Anyways, moving on quickly. Champions League.
Yes.
No. We had 6 teams in.
Mhm.
No, we're down to 2 because Chelsea get blamed, City get disposed of quite comfortably in the end. Spurs put up a fight, but that game was over in the first 30 minutes in Madrid. That tie, sorry. And Newcastle definitely put up a fight, but damn, that second half was not great. So City, Chelsea, Spurs, and Newcastle are all eliminated, and Liverpool and Arsenal are through to the quarterfinals. Liverpool to face PSG. First leg is away for you.
I think so, yeah.
And Arsenal face Sporting away for the first leg, home for the second leg. So, we kind of already touched on Chelsea and Liverpool. Anything else you want to add on those teams in the Champions League or the other teams?
They are still in or have been eliminated? They are still in.
I mean, yeah, from the Premier League standpoint, the teams that are gone.
Not really. I mean, I didn't give Newcastle much of a chance against Barcelona. I know they had a
They
good
weren't bad
result.
today, though. They weren't bad today in that first half. They really weren't.
I understand that, and I feel you, but I know that they had a good performance in the first game, drawing
They did.
1-1. But I just felt like Camp Nou for 90 minutes. You didn't get beat.
But they were well in it for that first half.
That was right, but they didn't get beat. But I know at the end of the day, they would have lost, right?
That second half capitulation was crazy. But continue.
Yeah, because I think once Barca got up in gears, I don't think Newcastle had the capacity to go with them. So I always felt, I felt Camp Nou. Barca be too much. City, that was a surprise. I can't remember what I predicted between the City Real Madrid tie, to be honest.
I can't remember what I said either, to be honest.
I can't remember who I predicted to go through or advance, but that was a surprising result in terms of the goal.
Yeah, the nature of it. Yeah.
But what I would say about that game kind of like reaffirmed my doubt about City in this type of race and why I think they finished, because as much as City signed defensive reinforcements in January, that first against Real Madrid was just a matter of the fact that City can't defend. And they're not playing with their usual poise and assurance in the top and creating overwhelming amount of chances. Even when they do, because the second leg against that played on Tuesday, even though before they lost Bernardo Silva for that handball, they created about 3 or 4 good chances to score prior. So even if they were clinical, if they were clinical early doors, not saying that they would have gone through, but if they were clinical early doors, they could have had a different complexion, right? Did the red cards change the game? Yeah, it made it a foregone conclusion that Real was getting through. If it wasn't before, who the other team again? Tottenham. Well, the less said about that, the better, because that first game, we criticized Racine for that Gokovic decision. You got criticized Tudor for that rare decision they're putting.
And then had the goal to sub him after the third goal.
Yeah,
embarrassing. Ugh. That was probably the worst. That was probably the worst half that I've seen from Spurs. And I saw the first half against Crystal Palace, which was, well, the last 15 minutes of that first half was pretty bad. But yeah, that was awful. They put a good fight, as I said this evening, but that first leg, it was over in the first half. Honestly.
So, in terms of the teams that are left, the two teams that are left, Liverpool, PSG, I think, something that I forgot to add about the Liverpool Galatasaray game. The performance that Liverpool showed against Galatasaray, I think this is the key to start keeping job. Essentially, or getting fans back on side. He needs to get the team to replicate that level of performance. In whatever competition, it's league, FA Cup, whatever. You need to get them to, especially at home, you got to get the team to generate that kind of atmosphere and harmony back with the fans. Number one. Number two, PSG, oh God, it'd be so difficult. You couldn't beat them last year when it was a better team. I don't know if you can beat them this year. You can't, because Liverpool again, PSG can test you a lot more defensively. Because honestly, Galatasaray were passive. They were non-existent. They didn't really show up, especially after Osimhen suffered a little injury. His forearm, it looked like. So Galatasaray didn't really make it a contest. That's not going to be the same with PSG, because PSG, big teams play anywhere, home or away.
Sure.
I think the key for Liverpool, if they can get through, is to get a positive result away in Paris. And by positive, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win the game or even draw it. But you can't come back home to Anfield to exactly, or anything like that. You got to be tight.
Exactly.
I bring it back to Anfield, and I hope that atmosphere you created today, you create something similar or even better than that, and feed off the crowd, and maybe it was, the momentum would carry you over the line. But at the same time, like I said before, big teams just play anyway. In any atmosphere, no bother. So that's I think me and the rest of the world, I'll be really delusional if I didn't. And although I go on red, it's Liverpool red and not Arsenal red. So I need to take my rational approach. I believe that PSG are favourites and PSG probably will go through.
Arsenal, you did say Galatasaray would have gone through, though.
I did, but that was open frustration. And honestly, it was open frustration, and it was also open the fact that Anfield tonight, that was the first time that I've seen Anfield like that.
It's true, yeah. Atmosphere hasn't been
correct.
The usual,
The closest might have been when Real Madrid came in league phase, and that was probably because Trent was came back.
Yeah.
So apart from that, I can't remember Anfield having that kind of atmosphere this season. So I didn't see that atmosphere coming. I thought it would have been more like the crowd, kind of like not expecting much, and that didn't happen. The crowd, the cop, for example, did get behind Team Meister. So.
Arsenal Sporting.
Man, honestly, right? I haven't seen Sporting play this season. I didn't really know them.
Not against Bordeaux, though.
Yeah, but I mean, they did it, and I give them full credit for that. But Arsenal is a different kind of fish than Bordeaux. That's true. I just feel we're not going to be decided is the fact that Arsenal is like at home.
Yeah,
I just feel Emirates can be the deciding factor.
And that kind of brings me to a point you made when you were talking about Liverpool PSG, about getting a result away from home. Now, granted, I do not think that Arsenal's penalty against Leverkusen was a penalty.
It definitely wasn't.
So.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at what they did. They got a result away from home. They were poor, but they made sure they got a result. Whereas Chelsea, Spurs, and City, it was just open sesame. Like, come on, you're playing your historically every fan, at least, I can't speak from a player perspective because I don't play, but every fan prefers to have that second leg at home. They
Yes.
do. Playing in front of fans, you could turn around result, blah, 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 blah. But when you play that first leg, every fan just wants a result. Literally, all three of those sides gave up 3 goal advantages away from home. It's like the basics weren't done. It's crazy to me. And we give a lot of talk about Premier League is the greatest league in the world. To me, a lot of people don't respect the other leagues enough. That's just me. I love the Premier League. I watch the Premier League more than any other league. But still, I give respect to other leagues. And you can't go away at PSG one playoff funny back. You can't decide against Atletico Madrid that you can make mistake after mistake and you can play your second choice goalkeeper as well away at Atletico Madrid.
Mhm.
You can't decide that at Madrid. I did hear that at the Bernabeu, City did start decently, but again, just defend well, get that result. And to me, that's what Arsenal did. And even though you guys lost your first leg, it was just a 1-0.
Mm.
Nothing to think. So I'm not shocked that you two are the teams that went through
Mm.
because to me, the other teams just didn't do what they were supposed to do away from home. That's just me. So like you said, that would be key for you. And I expect Arsenal to do the same. Just don't lose. And even if you do lose, 1 goal. Don't go back home looking to turn around with a 3 goal advantage. You could get done,
Mm.
but just do the basics right.
Yep.
And yeah, even Newcastle today, 7 away from home. 7? Come on. Come on. So yeah. So that's it for the Champions League. Leaderboard and
Before you go for Champions League, sorry, my bad.
go ahead. That's okay.
Right. So because we kind of already know the other tie, so I think is Bayern Real Madrid is out of quarterfinal, and I think Barca Atletico. So just a quick prediction on those two. Just to be fair, we respect the other leagues. Let's talk about the other teams.
To be honest, I had looked at the schedule, and we still had another show before those legs. But still,
okay.
we could still, we could still do it.
Okay.
Barca Atletico. I mean, that's gonna be interesting because they also had a 2-legged tie recently in the cup, right?
Yes, and Atletico might true. Yeah.
Atletico blamed them at home.
And then almost get
Barcelona did, yeah. Maybe I might see the same because to me, Barcelona and that high line, they look a little shaky today. But I think it's the same that you said in terms of Barcelona Newcastle. I think because Barcelona has so much quality up front, you expect that to show through in the end. So I would give Barcelona the nod. Real Madrid Bayern is tasty, to be honest. I think people, not necessarily me, because to me Real Madrid will always be European heritage, but I think a lot of people have written off Real Madrid a lot, to be honest, this season. But Bayern, that front line, I don't know. I don't know if I'm brave enough to call that yet. So ask me again in 2 weeks when we record.
Okay.
Arsenal Sporting, definitely Arsenal. PSG, Liverpool. Again, PSG's attack is deadly. Your defense is shaky. Porous indeed. Right now, again, we'll revisit in 2 weeks, but right now I would give PSG the edge for that.
Okay. Well, I ain't touch on the ties that don't involve English teams, so quickly Barca, Atletico Madrid. Again, I would give Barca the edge. One, because like you said, they have a lot of firepower in their attack, but I do also have concerns about them defensively.
For sure. Newcastle was cutting them open very easily today, very easily.
I prefer to see Barca, Arsenal in the semi than see Barca Atletico Madrid. Sorry, Arsenal Atletico Madrid because
I agree.
I feel like Arsenal would be Atletico Madrid. I feel Barca that'd be more of a contest. You know what I mean?
I think so
Um,
as well.
so and then Real Madrid, Bayern. Oh, well, I know I haven't really seen Bayern this season, but I seen him. I know that they've been in good form for most of it. Um, I'm apparently they're playing some decent stuff. Harry Kane has had a good season.
At least
This
they're too,
year,
but
yeah, have been stepping up. Luis Diaz has, adapted really well.
he says through gritted teeth and crying eyes.
No, 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 no. It's not gritty teeth. It's not gritty teeth because that one Luis Diaz, right? When you but I'm gonna try putting right hand side, right? You know you gotta do third Chile, take third Chile someday, man. Huh? That what you want Luis Diaz do for me. You know what I'm saying? So I have no problem with Lucho at all. I'm gonna say I have no problem with Lucho. You wanna know why? Because on late certain people, right? Lucho is not Liverpoolian. You know what I'm saying? He gonna home ties to me. Say if he
One
if he
day.
if he if he, if he fulfill a service, thank you, I go.
Mm.
Not like dirty. I get a fee. I will have some fee too. Not like other people that I get on. Say I don't want to finish a career at a certain club and I ain't round the contract. I talk about Marissa. I talk about man. I put press conference. I speak Spanish for the opening day. Remember that? I asked a question, Marissa. Can you remember that?
Yes, I can remember.
All right. But you're ambitious.
Even if
You
I
said
did
to
it,
me,
you will never let me forget it.
I would like forget it, but I won't forget it too. But even but your ambition said that you felt as though he did us wrong, right? I just have a little fun though. I don't
Yeah,
actually, people are not really legitimately stewing over that stuff. That
he's
was just a
lying.
little fun for me. I know I'm being I'm being very, very serious.
Mm.
But anyway, yeah, he said that would be, honestly, that was a good idea because as much as people have been working off Real Madrid, I haven't because I recognize that when it comes to Champions League, Real Madrid is saved the best performances for this competition.
Facts. Facts.
And the beginning, hopefully, they will have some of the big players back. Mbappe, Bellingham, for example, that was missed this last round. So, you always got to be worried around Madrid because they're a team who they get better as the tournament is on, right? So, I think that's all we did. That's all we did. Yeah,
Arsenal Sporting?
I thought I had predicted Arsenal good. I think
No.
Arsenal is strong for
True,
Sporting.
true, true. You did, you
Yeah.
did, you did, you did. All right. Leaderboard and predictions. I think I'm making a comeback.
Are you?
Well, the gap was like what, 10, 12 points the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It's now down to 8. Thanks
Okay.
to some of your disastrous predictions on FA Cup weekend.
Okay.
We actually had very poor league. Like literally out of all the games, we literally only got 1 point each, which was
Mm.
what result was that? I got the Palace Tottenham result, and you got a result. Yeah, the Arsenal Everton result. Everything else we
Mm.
were wrong on. Everything else. It was crazy. It was a very bad week in the league. But let's see what we could do. So Friday,
Mm-hmm.
Bournemouth at home to Man United. Man shrugged his shoulders, yo.
Um, I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw.
Really? Hmm. I'm going to 1 Man United.
Briefly,
Well,
I think Bournemouth
they
are good at
they
home,
got them to
so
lose. They
I think
are,
Bournemouth
but
are
I
good at
don't
home.
think that they're in as good a form as they were a few months ago, a few weeks ago. So that's my only thing.
Yeah.
All right. Brighton versus Liverpool.
I'm not game playing, by the way.
It's 8:30 Saturday morning.
Very good. I give my service out over there. Well, either a positive result or a bad one.
I was saying the
um,
confidence coming back, man.
no. I honestly, I know we're playing Brighton, but I just didn't know what the kickoff time was.
Okay.
I make it, I could get early and awesome Premier League. I'm gonna go to 1 Liverpool, man.
I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw.
Okay.
Not sure why though. But that's
Anyway,
what it is. Um, Everton at home to Chelsea. Wow.
Mm.
This is a ground that I absolutely hate going to.
What do you mean here? Can't tell me you grown up, Bill.
It's get it. It's not Goodison Park. Okay, I feel a little bit better now.
Dickinson Stadium.
Honestly, I hate to go to Goodison Park. Honestly. I'm going to go with our away form is better, but we've just had 3 defeats on the spin. Gosh, I'm gonna go with a 2-1 Chelsea win.
Okay. I'm gonna go for 1-1 draw.
Such a great friend.
Well, you asked my honest opinion. I believe that. I believe that the PSG result was still being system, and that's why picking a draw.
Yeah. Well, the biggest game of the weekend:
Mhm.
Tottenham at home to Forest.
Well, yeah, relegation 6 pointer.
Mm-hmm. This is a huge game, though. Like huge. Um, I'm going to go just for fun.
Mhm.
2-1 Forest.
Okay. I'm going for entirely opposite. I think that Spurs win this 2-1.
At home? Well, to be honest, honestly though, they were okay. I think y'all were more poor than Spurs was great. But I saw a lot more from Spurs than they have in a very long time in that game against y'all. Then they won tonight. Never know. You could
Yeah,
be right. Confidence could be coming back.
sensing some momentum.
I still sticking to my prediction.
That's fine. But that
Yee.
because you got that because you have a certain interest in investing. You want Spurs to get on because it gave man to be rested. You know.
I need something. If Arsenal can win the league, I ain't qualified for Champions League. I need something. I need something all this season. Something. Anyways, shall we do the Carabao Cup? Don't
Yes,
even
we
care.
should. We need to.
Fine. Arsenal v City.
You have who goes?
I'll go.
You, okay, go. Sure, guy.
Um, I feel like I will go to one City just because it's a cup, just because it's a trophy on the line,
Right.
just because City got a know-how. But
Mm.
at the back of my mind, I am like, them two Madrid results, opposite sides of a West Ham poor result. I don't know if City could do it. So I am really torn about this. But I can still go with this ain't got an extra time to, I'll go City to win on pens.
Okay. Well, you gotta say that. I was gonna predict that.
Really?
Yeah, I actually think I predicting a 1-1 draw off at extra time.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that City will win for like 4 penalties.
Okay. So I get right on your 1-1,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna go 2-2.
Okay.
So Andrew, you did 2-1-1. I'm gonna go 2-2. So we work out the points. If let's say we both get that City win on pens,
Mhm.
we will see what the scoreline is to see, you know, we work out some points there. Anyways, next weekend. Is this next weekend? No. Is it next weekend? Yeah, we only have one. I think FA Cup actually.
It's next
Yeah.
weekend.
Mm-hmm. Because it our international break.
I know you're going
Because
after break coming.
the
Yeah.
next league fixture is April 10th, and we recording before then.
Right.
Let me see when the FA Cup is. Maybe we could throw in some of them results, but I think it may be international break.
Yeah. And international break is coming.
Thank God. Thank God. I need a break. But yeah, FA Cup before the next league fixtures, and we also record before that. So that's it for the predictions.
Okay.
So yeah, this brings an end to our second ever live show. Um, the last time we did it, it was a bit of an emergency stream because it was when West Indies were so embarrassingly defeated by the Netherlands and lost out on qualifying for the ODI World Cup that we was like, yeah, we gotta record something, do some therapy, get it out of the system. But yeah, we're gonna try to do a lot more live, so that we could get the content out in a more timely manner, and yeah, maybe get some more views and everything. So it's been different, but not really, because whenever we're in the studio, you guys wouldn't know, but usually we just don't really stop talking. And I guess that's how it is when you're kind of talking to your friend, which we are. So we kind of used to this. So you don't got pause a lot and say, oh, sure, I got to stay over. It's just a nice flow. But yeah, this is something we want to do more. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, those are our individual handles, the handle for the podcast, and also our ever loyal sponsors. So that's it for me. Anything else to add?
Um, yeah, come on, City. Beat Arsenal on Sunday. You know what I mean? Do something for money. You know what I'm saying?
Something.
I,
I hear quadruple thoughts, Andrew. I'm
I'm
hearing
hearing it.
quadruple thoughts.
Sprinkling, you know, as the season game coming to business end.
Can
But
you imagine?
yeah, and I go next door, I pick up too.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, come on, City. Come on, find. I need money, yo. I know you all may not be able to affect the league, but find
Do
something
something.
within you. You know what I'm saying? To burst that bubble. Come on, sporting. We could do this as well. Show
Make it
your
happen.
resume. You should not down tools. You're supposed to show respect to your employers. You know what
But
I'm
yeah,
saying?
you did down twos.
Yeah,
That's
you know what I'm
true.
saying? Show you what's
Some
going
good
on.
place for that.
You know what I'm saying?
Who else we calling for? Because we do a run and quite for Sporting City. Who else we calling for? That's it, right?
Come on, Liverpool and Chelsea. Get with yourself, sir, and show a bit of consistency and get in the Champions League next season. You know what I mean? Say, I included you. You know?
Thanks.
And come on, Tottenham. Come on, Tottenham. When they
No,
can't get
no, 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 no,
no,
no,
no, no,
no,
no, let me
no.
explain,
That's great. That's great. That's
let me explain why. When they can't get down. Because y'all provide comedic relief for us over the season. You know what I mean? And although y'all being championship, we ain't watching championship just to laugh at winner. We won't win any prem.
what? I would don't I would.
I feel this show going for reals.
A little bit, a little bit, a little bit.
Has my life ever become about poking this much fun at other people?
Uh,
Misfortune. Anyhow,
that's really in a sad state. I understand you, bud.
I done with that. I'm only joking. People.
It's always next season.
I'm joking about everybody at Arsenal.
It's true. Come on, City. Come on, Sporting. Gosh, you can imagine a quadruple. Yeah, we need to end. I can't. I might have nightmares about that tonight, honestly. So yes, thank you for joining us on the Dugout Podcast. Remember, like, share, comment, subscribe, and see you again next time.